And Rutherford Issues here on WGNS is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. When it comes to critical updates, MTE wants to be able to reach you right away. So make sure you have your info all current at Middle Tennessee Electric. Logging in to MTE.com and updating all of that. Verifying your phone number and email address will ensure that you get timely updates. We're going to get a timely update this morning from Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation. Thomas Laird joins us here this morning. When I think Parks and Rec, I think Thomas Laird because you see him out there everywhere. How are you?
Doing well. The weather's not as nice, but it is a great day in the park.
Yeah, reminds me of spring fling.
Right. And, we were able to get through that one, but this is the first day of summer camp. So,
oh, nice.
It's called for some last-minute adjustments on some of the camps, but I think all our camps are going well.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, it's first day of, I guess, no school and our first big week of no school, so I'm sure camps are going to be hot and heavy this summer.
Right, and our camps are really popular. We've got, from sports camps to nature camp to arts camp, heritage camp. It's across the board. Our staff does a fantastic job of providing those camps. However, it does put a few more people within the facility. So, for example, if you're walking the track at SportsCom in the mornings, it's probably a lot louder than it normally is.
Yeah, I can imagine. How many of these is it an all summer thing? Is it just maybe a few weeks, or how does that work?
No, it is all summer. Sports camp runs 6 weeks, and then there's specialized camps in volleyball and cheerleading. So it's about 8 weeks of camp total. And I think the Wilderness Station, they did nature camp, adventure camp, several camps. So it's all summer long, and there are a few spots available. You can go to our website, murfreesboroparks.com, and check that out.
Okay. Murfreesboroparks.com. So just look, I guess there's a place on there for summer camps, huh?
Right. Just look for camps.
Okay. Awesome. That's good to know, and all of that going on. First, before we get too far away from spring fling, I did want to thank your crews for doing a bang-up job and what had to be a really, really tough week to get those softball fields ready and playable to go, and then you had tournaments that were kind of coming up against it, and spring fling kind of get pushed back. So some lessons learned, but boy, it was the rainiest week I can ever remember for that.
That may have been the toughest one. It's amazing that the guys were able to get the fields playable to be able to play what they played out there. And of course, we've got good partners with area communities. I know Smyrna helped us out, provided some turf fields, and Shelbyville helped out with the championships. They've got a beautiful field there at Shelbyville High School. And so we're just fortunate here in Middle Tennessee to have just such good people, but also such good neighbors that are willing to jump in there and make sure that event's a success. Yeah.
Riverdale High School tried, and, we had so much rain, their outfield flooded, even though they've got a turf infield. So made it not playable. That was about a 14-hour day, Thomas, and we went from Riverdale to Shelbyville. But I'm glad I got to go see that park. It is something. What will $39 million get you? Well, that's it.
Right, and I really think they did a great job of designing that facility. I think that's going to be the trend we see moving forward with some of these high schools. Yeah,
boy, it's it was definitely something to see. But got those in the books. But Parks and Rec staff did a wonderful, wonderful job. We only really had one nice day, and that was Tuesday. Right. And after that, it was just pretty much
it was off and on.
Yeah, but on too much. But and you guys do a lot of those things, tournaments. So it's not like this is something that that was a big thing that was in the public eye in terms of high school sports and things. But you've got tournaments all the time.
All the time, and the crews. They do a fantastic job all season long. But really stand out there at spring fling and just came together and made it happen. We're fortunate to have really good people
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why we have such nice facilities, honestly. Without the people to maintain those facilities, they don't stay that nice very long. So,
yeah. Was there ever any? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Was there ever any thought about Old Fort? Isn't that a turf field?
That was, and it was actually on the TWSOO's agenda or on their radar to utilize that. They were able to move baseball around, but it was on there as a backup field if it was needed. I think baseball, there's so many turf fields throughout the community. They were able to shift things around and make adjustments where they didn't actually use it, but it was on the reserve list.
I can imagine. I didn't know if it was on the reserve for even softball. There would have had to have been a lot of modifications done that probably weren't really feasible out there. But
right, it's not. The temporary fence would be the toughest portion. It's not necessarily designed for softball.
Yeah,
we could have made it work, but with Smyrna being close and them being a partner with us, it all worked out. We got it spring fling in, and there's a reason it's been here for 20 years.
That's true. I don't know any other place that could have pulled it off.
The entire community comes together and make that event happen.
Yeah. I know that this happened even before that, but this first time I've had a chance to talk with you, and I know that you're very involved in Special Olympics as well and everything that goes on with that. And we had some rain to deal with there, if I remember right.
It's funny how that worked out because we were dealing with the big American Idol also, and there was a lot of uncertainty there. And originally, Special Olympics was scheduled on the same day as the American Idol parade and concert. However, with the weather the way it was, we were able to move Special Olympics up a day to Thursday, and that allowed us to focus on the American Idol thing. And it just really worked out well because we had beautiful weather for both days of Special Olympics. That event has grown. It was over 800 athletes this year, which is phenomenal to be able to get them all in. And what is really exciting is that we've always had the kids, the elementary school and the middle school and the high school, but this year we had an entire section of track meet allocated for adults, and that's fairly new to have enough adults to be able to do that. And I think that's the trend we're going to see continuing on. All of our special needs kids grow up. And now within our community, there's things for the adults to do. And so we're seeing a lot more adults participating, which is wonderful.
Thomas Laird joining us, Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation. And on that line, we have really facilities that kind of work for those with special needs. And, I think of the ballpark out there and Miracle Field. And, I mean, there's just so much that this community offers. And going forward, I know that, future parks will have that kind of thing in mind here.
Right. The Miracle Field, we're going to be celebrating 10 years of the Miracle Field in next spring, which is hard to believe. But that decade long has really transformed the culture in our community. With the high school baseball and softball teams and athletes coming out, working with the Miracle Field athletes and then working with the Special Olympics athletes and stuff, we have a unique culture here in Murfreesboro where the special needs community is celebrated. And a big hats off to City Council for pushing that and pushing us in that direction so we could reach out to that community and provide those opportunities. Every park we build now, we call it inclusive. And it's not so much about creating equipment that someone maybe can drive a wheelchair on, or it's more about having playground features and things in our parks that encourage people to play together or encourage these kids to play together. And that's where those connections are made. And, Miracle's a great example of all the elements where two kids or more kids are able to play together. And that's where I think, we transform the culture of our community to being inclusive.
And I think it even goes back to, the creation of Special Kids decades ago, and how they, put children together that have very diverse and different backgrounds, and this inclusiveness just carries that even further into play. So I think that's very neat. So any updates on anything going on out there in terms of what you want to share?
The West Park is really coming along. I mean, the playground is going in, and they're going to be ready for surfacing before long. The pavilions are up and framed up. The hard surface is going down for pickleball courts. They're working on the trails. We're thinking we may be able to open that park in late 2026. So we'll see how the weather goes. They had a great spring, so weather wasn't an issue. But it looks like we're getting our rainy weather this summer. So
it does look like that, doesn't it?
Right, and a lot of it's contingent on the weather. So we get a dry summer and a big dry spell. They're moving along pretty quickly. So we're excited about that one. We're working on our Rogers Park renovation, and that's just we hopefully will be notified in the next month or so of whether we received the grant. But council's committed to renovating that park, regardless of what the grant outcome is. We've got plans to move forward either way, so we're excited about that.
Well, my son and daughter-in-law and granddaughter are very excited about that because they live close enough to Rogers Park, and so they're excited to see what's going to happen out there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a transformational for the park itself. We're putting in a new playground. We're adding a mini pitch and revitalizing those basketball courts, which are heavily used. Mm-hmm. I don't think people realize how many people utilize that park.
Well, I mean, it's right there in a community that we've seen the population growing everywhere, but that's another place within the city that continues to grow, and they're doing a good job of rehabbing homes and having new families move in. So that's a vital park in the whole system that maybe not a lot of folks know about.
Right. It is a true example of a neighborhood park and what a neighborhood park should be. So we're really working to try to upgrade that and just make it even more user-friendly for the neighborhood.
So I guess as we wrap up, Thomas, summer camps, there's still some chances. Other summer activities, I guess you've got those on there, and we're getting close to the 4th of July, too.
We are. We've got the splash outs are beginning this week, I believe, and we've got lunch on the plaza, which is usually the second Friday of each month, but it's on the website. Movies Under the Stars.
Oh, yeah.
Started this week. It's going to start tonight. We're going to have beautiful weather tonight because it's raining right now.
Yeah.
But if you go to the website and you scroll down, there's an events calendar along with spotlights that highlights a lot of the major events. Murfreesboroparks.com, get all the information, and there is something to do pretty much every day during the summer.
Well, if you want to find out more about the history of, the Movies Under the Stars program and how it started, there's a story on WGNSradio.com nearly 80 years after the start. Right. Next year will be the 80th year.
The longest running program we have.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't realize that Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation and WGNS are pretty closely tied, as Hollis Harris actually worked with Ray Duffy, who became the first parks director and all of that. And, he used to do radio back in the day when the station first went on the air. So our histories go way back. But the Movies Under the Stars history right there on the website. So check that out, too.
That's great.
All right, Thomas, I appreciate you pitch hitting here at the very last minute.
Sir.
And it's all, you never know what Nate's going to get you into, do you?
Right, never know, but hey, we're up for anything with Mark.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much, Thomas.
All right, thank you, Brian.
Thomas Laird joining us here on the show today, and that's going to wrap up our Rutherford Issues program here on WGNS and on Big G TV.